Hello, everyone. We're back with another live. We're gonna get right into it. We have a video of Laura. Uh, I know, Crystal, you sent me this link, so I'm gonna play this video. We're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
Here we go right now. About to play it.
A well-known Cleveland domestic violence advocate says she paid a deposit to a pet rescue company to find her missing bird, but the so-called experts never showed up. Sia New Yorker's live in Cleveland with the warning for pet owners tonight. Sia.
Lena, Laura Cowan's missing bird was gifted to her from Michelle Knight, another survivor who is well known in this community. Now, the two women tell me they bonded over this bird as an emotional support animal and used it for their trauma. And you can only imagine the pain this scam has caused. Laura Cowan tells me she's been calling her beloved pet parakeet's name since she escaped last Friday.
When I was cleaning her cage, I took a part of her cage outside to dry. I opened the door to go back in and Precious flew right by me, full speed. And next thing, she flew straight over to the neighbor's tree.
And she's been hiding out back here in the trees ever since last spotted on Labor Day.
Don't worry about it. Let me see.
Yeah.
But that was her bird, Precious.
Oh boy, a bird, huh?
Yeah. That's crazy. She was saying her.
Boy. So she was given the bird as a trauma victim, so that she'll be able to cope.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see how some people might have an attachment to something, but you're talking about an animal, and I don't believe that putting stress on a parrot that's healthy, because you got to think about the animal and the animal's feelings. Plus, I think the whole situation is bogus, because they picked a video to put on Cleveland news about a bird being lost, and it's like every time it's a small thing, they reporting it for her. And I'm like, how many of us have access to the media like that, where we can just call a news station and just tell them, hey, I want to put this story on? And then she said something about she was scammed.
Yeah, she said something like she was scammed or whatever, because she called them. They said their vehicle broke down. She called back and it was something else. So I don't know. My thing is like this.
Yeah, because that's what I heard. That's what I heard. She said that she had the parrot. She got the parrot from Michelle Knight, and the parrot was for her to cope with her trauma. First of all, she's not a trauma victim.
Yeah.
And then number two, she said that she went to randomly clean the bird's cage, and when she opened up the door, the bird flew out.
That bird was trying to
get
get a body.
I'm just not buying the story, because knowing her as an individual and all her antics and stuff like that, you telling me you've been having a bird for 5 years, and all of a sudden after 5 years the bird decides to run out of the house. The bird flew out of the house, and then they show a video of her calling the bird Precious, and Precious just sitting up there in the tree. If this bird knows you, that's how pets are. If you ever had a dog before, a cat, animals, they know you. If you call them, they'll come back to you. My thing is that if she was calling the bird and they showed it live on the news. Why would the bird sit in the tree and just ignore her and don't go back to her? Parents are very smart. They're very
Yeah.
smart. And
I don't
you
know.
know, putting stress on a parrot, it can cause physical issues. Their feathers can start falling out. It causes psychological stress too. It causes boredom, loneliness, lack of stimulation, poor environment, and also you're traumatizing them. So I'm just like 5 years, and you're a trauma victim, and you're just probably sitting around just talking to the bird, and the bird is probably like sick of the same topics. And I can imagine. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna say she might be talking to the bird, brainwashing the bird like she brainwashed her kids, you know, with something false. Cause I can't see, I mean, I really can't. I can't see how do you take an animal and sacrifice an animal and take all your worries and put it into an animal and then call yourself a trauma victim. Everybody knows, you know, you're not a trauma victim. Then you're saying you were schemed that Apple Pay, you paid Apple Pay $100, and Apple Pay took your money, and then the people that were supposed to come get the bird out of the tree called and said they was running late. Then the car broke down, and then you got a reward out. Precious need to keep going.
Yeah, keep going,
That's what
Precious.
Precious need to keep doing.
Precious
Yep.
need to keep rolling.
And Michelle Knight, you know, if she hears us, I'm thinking to myself, Michelle Knight needs to do more investigation on Laura Cowan.
Yeah, she
Compare
definitely does.
yourself to Michelle Knight. That's an issue too. When I saw that and I noticed she picks trauma victims and she clutch on to them, she holds on to them like she did, like she's doing us, to make her story more relevant and to pull people in. And when Michelle Knight, she got her on the phone, I'm looking at, this is a girl that was held hostage for 10 years.
Yep. Hmm.
Um, held hostage for 10 years. And the FBI was actually looking for her. And they was on the news, billboards, all that stuff. And the very thing that Michelle Knight said she experienced, Laura experienced all of that. She experienced being kidnapped, held hostage, starvation, sexually assaulted, all of that stuff. And there's no way. There's no way. And I'm just like, if people can just see how she clutch on to victims that have been abused. And then, like, who would want to live a life like that? Like we spoke about before, who wants to live like that? Just sitting up, being an advocate, talking about, the last I checked, being an advocate actually is about helping other people. It's not about you. Yeah,
But
you're
here,
going to talk about your story and what happened to you. But this is like, all I hear is just and hearing stories about her, we're dragged into it.
yep.
So that's
I,
all I hear. And I'm just like, you wasn't on a billboard, you know, and you was not missing for all the years that you said you was missing. There's no report that anybody reported her missing. So I just don't get what she talking about when she say that, oh, they had my picture up on the board. Now that was the shocker to you.
yeah, it was shocked. I'm like, yo,
To me, I was like, what, a billboard? Never heard, never seen you on the billboard before, not even in a newspaper
yeah,
during that time. So I'm just like, it's just, the whole situation is just way out, but it's a lot to dissect. I mean, going back to the Paris situation, I mean, you just telling me she has access to the news people like that, and she can just call them whenever she wants, and they just jump and respond to her. So I'm just like, something's not making sense at all. And then
Nah.
isn't there more important things in the news to report?
Yeah.
You could She could have called the fire department. She could have called the rescue pet people, right?
Yeah.
She could have called the rescue people to come out, right?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Rick.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I'm here.
She could have called the rescue pet people to come out, right?
Yep. She could have done that.
Rescue pet team would have came out of the tree. They could have came out and got the bird out of the tree.
Yeah.
She could have called the fire department. The fire department comes out and get animals from out of trees as well. So there's a bunch of resources out there for animals and stuff. You don't have to call personal people and put out a whole bunch of money, you know?
Yeah. I don't get it. She's all over. I don't get it.
I'm just like
you know, they're just
I'm
catering to
like,
her.
I
It
just
seems
don't get
like.
it. Didn't you have some cats stuck in your vehicle?
Yeah, I had some cats that got stuck in my car. 2 kittens, and I was at work, and
Mm-hmm.
they called the pet rescue, something like that. They called, and they came out and got them out of my car.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm not getting that story right there at all, nor am I buying it. I'm saying, out of all things, I looked up and I was like, oh boy, a bird.
Yeah, that seems like that was all set up. I mean, she knew what she was doing from my point of view.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, a bird, being stuck in the tree like that. It's just unbelievable.
But she may be
But
trying to be like, she's senile now and just doing crazy stuff because she know we online bringing this story out. So she probably try to play like something's wrong with her or whatever. I've always
yeah.
said that, and it seems like that's what she's doing to me. When she's
Yep.
talking, saying little stuff here or there, and
Mm-hmm.
we've already heard that she's claiming she's not going online saying these things, but the videos are right there online.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm just floored. I'm shocked by that one right there. When I saw that video, I was like, this is way out.
yeah,
I
I
I
know.
just I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. But all I know is that people need to do their research. I'm just like, sometimes you can say, oh, well, I went through this, I went through that, and then you're just using the person all the time. Getting back to Michelle Knight, you got to look at that story really deeply, and all of us know about that story, and when it happened. And so you got to look at that story deeply, that Michelle Knight and Amanda Berry and Gina, those
Yeah,
ladies was missing for 10 years. Okay.
yes,
And like I said, the FBI was actually looking for them. Laura was not missing 10 years. She wasn't missing at all.
nope, not
Okay.
at
No
all.
FBI, no FBI was involved at all. She's alluded to the FBI was involved because they had billboards up of
She
her. And then she said she wore a veil on her face, so people didn't know who she was because he made a war veil. And there's tons of pictures that we have that she
yes,
never wore a veil. So when she said that, I was like, what? She makes sure that she dives into every inkling of a story to cover herself. That's what she does. She makes
yeah,
sure. Because to say it was a billboard up of you, and then after that you wore a veil, that's why people couldn't find you. Okay, what happened when the police came out to the house the many a times that they
yep,
did? What
yeah.
happened when you was located supposedly? Nobody said anything.
but
and
she's
then
a hostage
show
going
us where
outside, right?
we
She's a
are in the
hostage and she's
charges
going outside.
that
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, show us the facts where your boyfriend was arrested for kidnapping you. And then all this helicopter crap, it was helicopters surrounding the whole property. That stuff never happened. She just making up stuff,
Yeah.
just glamorizing stuff. Like I'm gonna say, boy, I don't know what's gonna come up, what she gonna say next. It's just, but I'm not gonna be shocked because I've heard it all. I'm just like I've heard too much, and I'm just like I don't get it. I just
Mm,
don't get it. And
mm.
I'm just like I look at certain stuff who she uses because she tried to use Sharon and Marlon because those was the first two people, she tried to contact. And so when they didn't contact her back, she felt some sort of way,
Yeah.
And then all this stuff that we all had contact, won't none of that stuff. We won't ever no happy family with her. It won't none of that stuff. It was never us contacting her, her contacting us, Taz contacting us keeping the contact. It was never. Like I said, all that stuff is glamorized and it's just a lie because none of us never kept in contact with her. None of us never called her. I've never even had a number on this lady.
Mm.
Never. So I'm just like, that's just too much. So
And
I
like
don't
we
know.
all, like we say, the DA told us that, of course, she wasn't kidnapped. None of these things happened to her. So I mean, we already know. Just want to reiterate
And
these
yeah,
things. Like we have the information. We spoke to the DA. We said this before. We've been doing some other things, so we know she's not telling the truth,
yeah.
regardless.
Like
She's
we've
just
said
that.
before, we're relying on what the DA
Yeah.
told us. And we're not talking about Julie Baldwin. We're
Nope.
talking about another DA. And we're not gonna mention the name
Yep.
to give her
But
a little heads up. But we're gonna rely on what the DA told us that we recently just spoke to in May.
mm-hmm.
And it was stated she was not sexually assaulted. She was not abused. Her kids weren't abused. She was not kidnapped, held hostage, captive, none of that stuff. The only thing she did was wrote this letter.
That's the only thing she did, and that's nothing new.
She wrote the letter, and now that she wrote the letter, look, when you help people from the kindness of your heart, right? You
Yeah.
don't help people so that way you can be put in the media and people can blow you up and you can be praised. And then you're like this in Superman, Batman, Incredible Hulk, you're this hero. Because when I look at all these videos and I look at her, it's like she's trying to be some type of superhero or something.
Yeah. Like the savior thing. I
She
saved
just
everybody.
walks out into crowds and yell and scream. Somebody told us, I'm not gonna mention the name. Who do you love? And I'm just like, how could you say to a crowd, who do you love? And that ain't even how you do things. People don't even know you like that. They don't even know the twisted other side to the story until you come here and you listen. Because for many years, she's been doing that. And so when you come here and you listen, I mean, you just can't come on this live where we're speaking right now and just listen to this. Go just dissect and look at all the videos from the beginning. And it's more. What we're talking about right now, this is not just it. There's more.
Yeah, we're just taking our time rolling a lot of this out because we got other information we're trying to gather. So, each show we give more information. We may backtrack, say a little here, correct some things, from
Yeah.
what Laura's been saying, stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah. And I'm just like, I mean, if you want to get the full story, you got to come here and you just got to look.
you look at all the videos
That's
and
what
just
you got to do.
just come up to date with this one. You'll have a better understanding of what we're actually talking about. And I know you said you wanted to talk about Laura. How could she urinate in those bottles?
Yeah. My question to the whole audience, and they can comment if they want, but I can't even answer the question myself. Is that how do a woman urinate in a soda bottle? Because she said it out of her mouth that her captor had her urinating in soda bottles. And I'm just like, you got good common sense. You gotta know better. That that's impossible. That's impossible. And then how did you get a kid? Because first you said it was a bucket. If you got a bucket, why would you need a soda bottle?
Yeah,
Because
you're right.
how she described in this video, she had on a turban, and I'm
That white
always
turban.
observing those turbans. You know, when I look at videos of her, I look at the whole persona. That's what I do, and I'm looking at, you said all these things about this individual, that, oh, he wore a turban. You wore a turban. He had these rings on his finger. She got them same rings on her finger that I saw her with years ago when I was a little kid. Same rings. He wore a hijab robe. She got the same ones on herself. And then playing around with God. You know, she mentions God all the time. She go to a church. She went inside the church, the house of the Lord,
And
and
she
she
was up
went
there.
up in there.
Yeah, she's right there.
That was great. I was like,
Crazy.
Lord.
I
I
ain't
was
being in
like,
church line like that.
Lord. I was like, Lord, if you don't make her sit down, I was like, how the heck? That's scary when you can get up in front of God in church and you can sit there. You
Mhm.
must think you some type of some mighty superhero to stand up there before God in a church before people and just spew lies. You're spewing lies. You're spewing hatred. You're teaching people in society that, oh, you're this supposedly big advocate to help people. She's not helping anybody. What's she doing? She helping herself.
Yeah.
She's helping herself. She trying to get that bag, a big bag. That's what she trying to
Trying to
get.
She's trying to make millions off of
She was
us.
like, I
That's
don't
what
mind.
she's
She
trying to
probably
do.
think I don't mind if I do sit down at their table and eat and get a few dollars out of their pocket. I'm like, I ain't fooled. I'm not fooled by it because I've been around her and I know her. And I'm just like, just going out there, you're supposed to be this public person. Like when you become a public figure like that, like she says she is, and
Mhm.
you're out there helping people that need help, you're supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to be putting yourself out there as this big person and, hey, I need this donation. I need this money. I need that. I need a limousine. You
Yeah.
know, I need all the free food. She gets she's never going to starve because she gets all the free food she wants. She gets all the free groceries she wants. Everything. So she's never going to starve. Let me cut this thing off. So she's never going to starve, you
Yeah.
know, and
Not.
her kids ain't going to never starve. When we was told about all the amenities that she got, I was like, wow, people are really food. They're really food. You're getting free furniture from furniture companies. You're getting free groceries. You're getting homemade meals at restaurants. You're getting gas paid for it. You're getting gift cards for clothing, all of that stuff. And I'm just
Exactly.
like, you being looked out well. What more can the people do for you? It's like selfishness and greed. But I'm saying to sit up in the church, she really took it too far.
Yeah. She was up in the church. I was like, oh man, I was waiting for that lightning to strike.
I was like, Lord, I was sitting there shaking my head. I was like, whoa, when you showed me that clip, I was like, whoa, she's standing up in a church and she was professing herself that she believed in Jesus Christ, that she was a Christian, and how much she loved the Lord. If you love the Lord that much, you would be a very honest person and you would come tell the truth. That's what
That
you
stuff
would
she
do. And you
doing.
would
Mm,
apologize. You would apologize. Plus, she'd have been stopped the stuff that she been doing for years. All she gonna do is I didn't do it. It's always I didn't do it.
it's right
And I'm
on
like, how do
line.
you?
It's right there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, how do you say? How do the entire world see you and we see you and you say you didn't do it? And like you said, she gonna play the see now thing
Yeah, I'm
next.
telling you.
I don't remember. She's standing out there on TV like she this old lady standing there talking, yes, and and my precious, he flew away, and Precious is up there in the tree. I looked up,
Your
Precious
breast
is
is
there
up
in
in
the
that tree.
tree looking at her and turning.
Precious turned it.
Precious is up in the tree, turning her head,
Precious.
looking the other way. You know
Yep.
what I was thinking in
Looking
my
another way.
head? I hope Precious fly away and don't come back.
Yeah.
But good for Michelle Knight, I can say this, that as a victim, because Michelle Knight is a real victim, and the other
Yeah.
two women are too. They're real
Yes.
victims. And
Yep.
I could say this to Michelle Knight, good for her for helping the lady out. But like I said, don't believe everything that comes out of her mouth and everything she say, because there's 13 other people that lived through her madness. And I'm just telling you, she got things really big time appearing a certain way that, it wasn't. And a lot of people that saying that, how did she get a movie? And why is she in articles? She lied her way into it. That's how.
Yeah.
She
Yeah. Because
used other victims to get her way in it. That movie, Girl in the Garage, I think I've seen it twice now. I watched it again last weekend because
oh
the
really?
first time I saw it, I was just yelling and screaming at the TV. I was standing up yelling and screaming at TV, taking notes, checking stuff off. That didn't happen. And then watching the movie, I could tell by looking at the children, each one of the children, which one was each one of us. They had certain scars in the movie that she told the movie about, certain one of us. And then they alluded in the movie, and this is bad. They alluded
Mm-hmm.
in the movie, and we saw the video that our brother was gay. That's horrible. You can do that much damage to somebody.
Dang right.
You can do that much damage to somebody. I ain't gonna say which one. I'm just gonna let the person she said about deal with it in the legal way that they with it. But she did that. She told those people that. And anybody can make a movie, you know?
Yep.
Anybody can make a Lifetime movie and say, oh, this happened to me. This happened to me, because the way the movie started like at 6 months. That's where it started. Like, but hold on, she said 4 years and now it's 6 months. Then it's 2 years. I'm just like, I can't keep up with the lady. It's just so many stories out there, and the way all of us put it together. When you look at us do these lives every Friday, and then you look at all past videos of everybody that spoke, everything connects.
Yep. Everything.
Everything connects. But I'm just like, playing with God, that's serious. It was a lady online. She stated this. She said on YouTube, and she said this to Marcus on the Dr. Phil episode that we was on in 2016, 2015. She said, don't be mad at Laura because she's telling her story. Tell your story too. First of all, why wouldn't we be mad at somebody that's out there? And she know who she is that made the comment. We're gonna be mad at her because she's out there talking about us. That's what she's doing. Wouldn't you be mad if she was out there telling your whole life story and you went through some trauma in your life?
And none of that stuff that it takes out all that stuff that she's talking about never happened to her.
She
And
made it up. there's
Especially people,
proof.
we have the facts. We have the proof for
Yeah,
real.
there's proof
Stuff
that
doesn't
she
happen.
made it up. See,
Exactly.
a lot of stuff was being hidden and concealed from all of us.
Yep.
There was court. There was that 13-page letter, which total 26 pages. That was hidden from us. Court
Yep.
records was hidden from us. Doctors' records was hidden from us. The pictures that's in the backdrop that everybody that's watching can see, that was hidden from us. A lot of stuff was hidden from us. And so now that we're finding out about all of this stuff and we're speaking about it, the first thing that come out of her mouth is that she said on Top TV to that podcaster, he said, all of this stuff can't be a lie. He said, somebody is out there saying this. It ain't true.
He
It's
know
not
it is.
true.
It's not.
And if you would ask and look at other people's stories, you would see that it's not true. Everything that she said, you would see that. Now she can go out there like we talked about last week. She can tell whatever lie she want on our father and their little sick relationship that they had together, because all they was trying to do is get each other locked up. And that's just what their relationship was like. They was antagonistic to each other. They picked on each other every day. They was waiting for each other to do something wrong. They was looking out the corner of their eyes, waiting for each other to do something wrong. That's what they was doing. And it was always, I'm calling the police on you. It came from my dad's mouth. I'm calling the police on you because abusive stuff she was doing to her children. It was always, I'm calling the police on you. Because she came in with her eyes wide open, she said.
I came in a situation with my eyes wide open.
Yeah. She said, I came in with my eyes wide open and I saw all the abuse and I wanted it to work.
Yeah, she said
Why
she
would
wanted
you come in somebody's house and you see all of that crazy stuff going on, but you want to go and get with a guy and say, he's my husband, and you got a husband incarcerated.
And she wanted to work.
None of that stuff make no sense. She thought all of us was crazy. That's what she thought. Because she done already said what? She done called us idiots. She calls us idiots, stupid. Dumb, mental. We locked up in, ain't none of us been locked up in no mental wards. She needs to stop lying and then telling people, oh, they idiots, they stupid, they roaches, they dumb. Marcus, your father was, then talking about on YouTube, Marcus, your father, you ran, Marcus, because your father was gonna kick your such and such, if not kill you.
Yep. Dogs, things, sharks.
Yeah, and then you talking about bloody sharks and all types of stuff. I was like, she's some sociopath. That's what she is, big old sociopath, just making up stuff, because don't nobody in their right mind go out there and just make up stuff. I mean, and then in the movie is twisted because first of all, Paige Heard is a young 32-year-old woman.
Yeah, she young.
Laura was not a 27-year-old woman. She's 43 years old.
Because people think this happened in the 80s. A couple of people.
Yeah.
Remember that YouTube link that you sent me and we was watching, and the girl up there was like, this was happening she said the 80s.
She said it happened in 1989.
Yeah, she did say that. I'm like 80.
Yeah, and I was like 80. Then she said 85.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting like, this still happened in the 80s.
Somebody gave her some records. Because we came to California in 85.
Yep.
And we left up north in Bakersfield in 89. So
those 2 years
that's
everybody keeps talking about.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm saying. I just feel like that even though Julie Baldwin has personally told me on the phone that she did not give Laura any information and that she did not speak ill about us, I don't believe her. Because for this lady to keep going on different podcasts, and she speaks of that lady, Julie Baldwin is the only person. She ain't spoke of nobody else. There's a ton of other people we know that
Mhm.
was involved in that case. She speaks about her. That's what she speaks about. And so this lady know things that she should not know that's personal to us. And like I said, whatever sick stuff she want to go out there and lie to the world about her and her boyfriend, just go do that. But don't be talking about us.
Yeah,
Don't put us in it.
she got
Cause
people
we
thinking, and she got people thinking that her mom helped to keep her hostage and
yeah.
helped kidnap her, all this crazy stuff. And
Yeah. And then I wonder what do mom think about this stuff because I know mom watching the podcasts too. I
yeah,
know a
she
lot of
watching.
people that's out there watching. Click in, click out, click in,
Yeah.
click out. Yeah,
Hmm.
come on
Then
in.
then they
Come
go
on
then they
in
go
and
watch.
join us.
Look,
And sit on the
yeah.
platform.
Look, stop clicking in and out. Stay up here and listen, watch,
Yeah,
listen and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Come on in, sit down, and discuss this stuff with us. This lady is out there saying mom helped kidnap her, sexually
Hmm.
assault her,
Yep.
and abuse her.
Yep.
Told a podcaster when he asked her, yeah, she was helping.
Sure did.
And then called a domestically abused person. I don't know how much I can keep saying that, but it's like
It's disgusting. That's what it is.
it's
Crazy.
it's like wow, you're supposed to be all of those things that you speak of on TV, helping all of these women, all of these people, but you could go and call a domestically abused woman delusional. That to call somebody delusional.
That lady,
She
man.
was a. I'm just like you foul. You're foul. You're foul. You're foul.
The thing is that
You.
she's been doing this for 20 something years.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're just getting started.
Exactly.
All of us, we're just getting started. What has it been? A good 8 months,
Yeah,
and it's
we
just
put
a
out
lot.
we have put out a lot of
It's a
information
lot.
out there and a lot of information we researched. So hey, people come to this page, it's easy. I mean, first like Hannah always say, we are the facts. Because we're the ones that y'all,
Right.
especially y'all in California, y'all experience this on a
Yeah.
day-to-day basis.
Yeah. And when
You know,
people ask us, do we think it's possible? No. You know why? To me, when she speaks about that, oh, Musa, he locked me up for 6 months. He did this to me. Well, that's not what we saw. That's not what none of us saw in the home. We saw something totally different. And for those that out there saying that it's possible, this possible, that, no, it's not possible. Even when Dr. Phil said that it was no way of all 8 of us that was on his show to know if she was sexually assaulted. Yeah, it is actually. It really is because she knew all the abuse that was going on with every last one of. She knew our sister was being sexually assaulted.
she
Both
knew that.
of them,
Yep.
two of them. She knew.
Yeah.
And guess what? Why are you gonna come tell us what we didn't know? But she can tell us what she knew about us. And what is that? What is it to say that out of your mouth? Like we're criminals and we did a crime or created a crime because we was mistreated and done wrong.
Yeah. So we help and also help dad keep her captive.
Yeah. That's why nothing in society is not going to change. I mean, I look at in the years to come, if we don't start changing laws when it comes to victims of violent crime, that things is going to get worse for the upcoming generation of kids that it's worse if the
Yep.
laws don't change because I don't think the law does not hold people really accountable. They always find an alleyway that it's possible this could have happened, possible this could happen. No, when you do stuff like that, you give the predator an advantage to use their sick brain to say, well, I mean, I did it because this happened. I did this because that happened. And then it gives society the opportunity to blame the victim. Like, what was you wearing? Or what did you say to this individual to tick them off? What did you do? And that's the thing, what Laura is doing. She's out there professing to be an advocate. And what she's done, she shamed all of us. And that is not right at all, what she's done. From calling names to using your story to belittling us, I'm just like, if you looked and investigated and looked online, she's not no advocate for abused people at all. She's for herself. That's what she's for.
Yeah, she's definitely for
You know?
herself. She's trying to get paid. I'm telling you, she's trying to get like you
Yep.
say, she's trying to get that bag.
Yeah. She's like, I want to hit the jackpot.
Yeah, and like we was gonna talk about like when Dad came to Virginia, he had money because I've seen it, like in his bank account. Like when he went to the ATM and
Yeah.
everything, he got a lot of money. So it's not like he couldn't
And
feed
when
y'all.
people tell you it was no reason, like we talked about throughout the week, it was no reason for us not to have the things that we didn't have, because the resources was there. It was there. And it wasn't all like, oh, they was a poor family and this and that. No, the dude had plenty of money. And the money was being used on those two women in the house. Even our mother's money that was coming in for all her children, them two ladies was spending it. Even Adrian had some funds, and Laura spent it. Laura went down to Palm Springs and closed out an account with all our funds in it. And she took 47 of it. So if you're going to sue anybody, sue her. Because I got the paperwork, and she that account out, and that's what she did. Took all the resources we had. So I'm just like, when she said she was starving and her kids didn't have anything and all that stuff, yeah, they did. They did. I'm
gonna try to play that. Try to find that video where she said she came in with her eyes wide open. See if I can find it. Hold on a second. I'm gonna play a video right quick.
Okay.
Physically abused you also?
Yes, he did. He physically.
What was that like? That was beatings?
Ooh, wow. With me and the children, he would, like the children, for example, he would string them upside down, beat them on their feet. He took, to give you an example, if they didn't know certain surahs in the Quran, because he had them memorize them by heart, he would take their own feces and shove it in their mouth.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, he was deep. He was deep. He took his oldest son, Jihad, of one incident when some food was missing in the home because the kid was hungry. And that's another way he disciplined him.
He used food as a weapon.
As a weapon.
I'm told he would dish out like half of a hot dog at times when he wanted to punish.
Oh, you did your research well. That's right, he did. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So, and then you guys would stash food in the ceiling tiles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one time I took some chicken that he threw to us in the garage, and I hid it up under the pillow because I wanted my son to eat it. And the ants got to it, and I was so hurt because we were so hungry. But I tried to make sure the children ate first.
Now, obviously, besides
straight eyes.
Now, he asked her a question, and you know what she did? She straight started talking about all of us. She didn't even answer his question. She started saying he would beat them for not getting up for prayer and string them up. He never stringed us up from no ceiling in front of her. She's lying about that. That never happened. That was something that happened in Bakersfield, and it happened to some of our siblings, not to all of us. But he never stringed nobody upside down in front of her. She lied about it. She's lying. And then we didn't eat hot dogs. She said he would give us a half of a hot dog. We didn't have no hot dogs. We didn't even eat meat
Let me
like
find
that.
let me find another clip. I'm trying to find the one where she said she came with her eyes wide open. Let me see if I can find it.
Because you were married actually, right?
Yes, sir.
And your husband end up going to prison, right?
Right, right.
And you guys had a restaurant
Mm-hmm.
and
Sure
end up
did.
losing the restaurant. You had two children at the time.
Exactly.
So what were some of the those were some of the circumstances surrounding that, and what else made it attractive to be involved with this guy and the other wives and the children that he had?
Well, he was charming, but he was helpful. And when you're in that state, when you're at your lowest and you're vulnerable, and someone comes to your aid, it's like a Superman, and it's like, well, thank you, Lord. You think it's a blessing.
Right,
That's what you think,
right.
but it really isn't in return. But yeah, if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have took
How
that step.
long before did you start seeing the red flags?
Ooh, I would say about maybe 6 months into it, you could still see. But I figured that's the way he disciplined his children. I should butt out.
Right,
But then it got worse, and then it started involving my own children.
right. He started isolating your children from you.
Exactly, exactly.
And so okay, now from doing my research, I came across that when you first got into this, you actually walked through the door and you seen children, women and children on their knees. Were they in prayer, facing the wall?
Yeah, they were in prayer, and when the prayer was over, you would never believe how many children was in there. The place was quiet. He had them, so it was like a regimen. It was just quiet and isolated and kind of gloomy. Um, the children wouldn't talk to each other.
Right.
It's like fear. You can feel and you can smell the fear.
You can feel that intensity.
You can.
Now the guy, he also dressed in that traditional garb with robes and turbans, I'm told.
Exactly.
Now, have you ever been abreast to that situation before then? Like, have you ever been around those types of charismatic people?
No.
He busted her in the lie. He busted her in the lie. He asked her when did she see the abuse. She said 6 months
Yes, she did.
after. But then he rephrased the question and he asked her. He said he did his own research and he found out that she said that was when I first met them. She changed it and said she started seeing us do prayer this way and dad disciplined them a certain way. She sat there and lied and then said that she saw him doing things to us, but when he went to go after her children, but she wasn't specific on what he did.
Yeah.
She said when he went, like not that he actually did it, but he tried to. That's when she had to go get help. So I mean, that shows all of us that she didn't like none of us or care nothing about none of us anyways to say that, you know, when he was doing it to his children, I saw it. But then when he tried to do it to my children, that's when I did something. So look, our black lives didn't matter, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just what it is. That it just we didn't matter.
Let me see if I get this next. I'm trying to find the one where she said she
But
came in with her eyes wide open. Let me see if this is it.
Been around those types of charismatic people?
None whatsoever. My husband um, was with the Nation of Islam, and he met this brother through the mosque,
Okay.
and that's how the acquaintance began.
Oh, so your husband knew the guy. So it wasn't a stranger off the street. Your husband knew the guy.
Right.
And so when he caught wind of your husband going to prison, he kind of, went after his prey.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
That's why I felt too. It went after his prey, and even I learned later on down the line, the second wife was also in that same type of situation, and
Wow.
he just fed on that, and he reeled us in.
What were some of the things he were telling you early on to lead you to believe that this would actually be a good thing for you?
Well, he he gave a lot of scriptures from the Quran, and right away you're thinking, okay, he's a religious man, can't be harmful. Your trust was there. He called himself an imam, and he knew quotes from every surah you can think of. And so you felt comfortable. You really thought, okay, well, this is a God sent, and he's here to help. But I think he twisted. It was not think. I knew he twisted the Quran. He twisted a lot of words to fit his situation. So
now, when he twists those words, he was yelling at you and being real forceful and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's what domestic violence is. Everybody thinks it's physical, but actually it's emotional too, because he can take those words, those kind words, and he can hurt you with them too.
Mm. So he abused her emotionally.
She said.
She said it wasn't physically, it was emotionally. He
She
would
telling
take
her.
the words of the Quran and flip them, but that's not what she been saying. She started claiming she was beat all up and all that, and ain't none of us never seen any pictures of her beat all up. Never even seen a stab wound on her foot. None of that. And then she said that um he knew her husband, but she didn't know him. All of them knew each other. They knew each other. They all ran in the same circle. They knew each other because all three of them were selling guns together. It was a clip on this other podcast that she did, and this lady asked, no, she didn't ask. She said that she believed that she knew that her husband was selling guns, and she just turned the blind eye because she liked the money that was coming in, because the way the script of the movie was written out. Because even with her husband that passed, there's a lot of different stories that she tells about him, that he was selling guns, and at one point it was the wrong thing that he was doing, and he went to federal prison for 8 years. And then it was another story where she said he was selling guns, and he didn't know that the people were setting him up to sell the guns, and he wasn't pushing the right paperwork. First of all, you can't sell guns on the street. You have to get educated about guns. You're supposed to go through training with guns. There's people that own gun stores. You have to take a test before you even go buy a gun. So how was he pushing selling guns on the street? He got in trouble because he didn't have the right paperwork. It was no such thing. It was no such thing. She made up this whole big old law for herself.
I don't know if I got that clip. 'Cause I know, like, I got a lot of clips in here. Do you remember what she was wearing? Her and the other lady.
She had on a white turban.
She had a white turban. Okay. I do
Yeah,
have those in here as well.
she on a white turban, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, let me
But
check
I'm
this
just
one.
like,
This may be it right here. Let me see.
In a captive for sure, because there was no way out of that situation. He kept my children separated from me, so that way he knew I wouldn't leave without them. And eventually, like I said, with the technique of the brainwashing he tried to use with us, letting him know that he was in charge. He's, Islam showing that, he's got like a overseer over me until your husband gets back with you, and you shouldn't be a loose woman alone in the world. And these things he was putting out there, it made me feel like, well, maybe he was right. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But I didn't know better. And it's just the way his whole demeanor on things, Stephanie, he just really was, those two words that women have to learn is power and control. And that's what he used on us, even down to the little ones. So it was a way I had to break away from that period. And once I even tried to leave, he would threaten me, threaten my kids. He even brandished a gun in front of us. He attacked me several times. So it was at a point that your spirit just breaks down and you just say, well, I just won't leave right now, just for a safety mode, because it's survival time now at this point. If you do it right away, he could kill us all. Maybe you need to think this through and don't be so rash and, find a different way. So I started planning, and I started writing little notes. And just in case if anything did happen to me, someone would find this and let us know, let them know what was happening to all of us in this home. Because he was really torturing us, all of us, even down to the children, withholding food from them if they didn't know their prayers. He had them standing up in a corner for punishment, not just for hours. We're talking about for days, overnight. And so it was just so bad that the children, their growth was stunted because there no exercise, no sunlight. They wouldn't go out the house. They were malnutrition. Matter of fact, one who was like 16-year-old was only 4'5". So they were all in bad shape. They were literally dying, emotionally and spiritually.
Let me say something right quick. Why she's always smiling like that when she mentioned y'all? Every time. It's crazy.
I think it's to get a rise out of us. I think what it is that but to be honest with you, when she smiles, it don't bother me. It just shows me how big of a disgusting person she is to sit up there and smile. And when people sit and they say, oh, some people smile to cope or they make faces, don't nobody do that. That's just making up an excuse. That's more excuses, you know. First of
Yeah.
all, she sat there and in every YouTube video that she's done, all she's done is lied. She's lied. She has not been open about actually what really happened at all. It's just like I was this poor little old angel, and all of this stuff was just being done to me. And when somebody asks you about yourself, speak about yourself. He asked her a question about her, and immediately she talked about all of us. He didn't ask her any. You notice the interviewer, he did not ask her anything about us. He asked her about her, and she went and started talking about us.
Mm, that's
So
crazy.
I'm just like, like I said, it's just this stuff is like repetitive, you know. When you look at all this stuff, it's a lot. It's sometimes it's overwhelming, and some of it shocks me, but a lot of it don't, because I knew that day when she was removed from the house, I knew that she was going to make sure that she looked like a victim. That's what I knew. I knew for sure she was going to do that. And, you know, when I mentioned that, she needed to tell the truth and apologize, I'm really not expecting an apology from her at all. And even if she tried to apologize, I really don't want to hear it, because when you do that for over 20 years to somebody's family, it's like you did that on purpose. And that's a lot. That's a lot to be sitting up speaking about people like that, you know? That is that's too much to be sitting up there talking about somebody like that. And then we supposed to be just these wounded, defenseless birds that can't pick ourselves up off the ground and speak and help ourselves. It's like if we speak, it's a problem. And if we don't speak, it's a problem.
Yep.
So at one point it was like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
Yep. You're right.
So that's how it was. But I'm just saying, just to sit up there, I don't have it in me. And I'm saying none of us is perfect, but I'm not talking about from the standpoint of watching being involved in this case. What I'm saying is that she's blatantly lying. She's blatantly lying. She's not showing no paperwork. She's not showing no facts. All she's doing is just running her mouth. Running her mouth.
Yep.
And then she sits up and watch all of us going to your page, going to Marcus' page, going to Lakeisha's page, going to everybody's page. Daughters going to people's pages, all this stuff. It's like, what do you want? What do you want? That's what I'm just like. I mean, all our siblings, everybody just need to block their stuff and get on with your life. Keep that lady out of your life. Keep her out of your life.
Like you said, she has no paperwork, nothing, no
I haven't seen any. Never.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But y'all do. That's what I'm saying. She don't have anything.
I've never seen the things that I have seen.
Yeah,
I've seen them. I've seen things that she said that the Julie Baldwin, the DA, gave to her. And those was things that she exposed that I had never seen. Those was things that we was trying to get a hold of to have in our possession so that we can dissect the information for ourselves. The stuff that she's said and the stuff that she's posted, I've never seen it.
Yeah, like I'm saying, she has.
I don't have it in my possession. I've never seen
like I'm saying, there's nothing on her being abused. No pictures, nothing. But see, y'all have the pictures like in the backdrop. Those are the pictures. Also, by the way y'all were being fed in the house, or ended up having a blood deficiency and all that stuff, and certain things. Because
everybody in the house suffered from blood. Her children didn't suffer from any blood deficiency. They was eating well. Adrian's kids didn't, and them two ladies didn't. You know who suffered from blood deficiency? Our mom and all of her children. And when we went to go get physicals, mom was told about that, taking us to the dentist. The pediatrician said you need to take your children to the dentist, and they need to eat more meat. Everybody in the house, no blood counts, all of that stuff. That was from being malnutrition. I mean, it's just the story that we're telling right now in this podcast is bigger than what everybody think.
Cause it wasn't
like you're just getting a taste.
It wasn't no 2, 4, 5 years. Actually, this went on, like I said, since the mid to late 70s.
Yeah.
From the time that me and Keisha was born. I mean, all the way up until Dad got caught in 99. I mean, this has been going on. And he lived like this with y'all, and that's how it's more to the story. She's pulling off of old stories when she wasn't even in the home, and she's mixing it all in.
Yeah. And then another thing I don't like it when you have a family that's living in a home and you bring friends into the home, and friends, they don't know what's going on behind closed doors. This lady came in our home and she said she had her eyes wide open. Now, when Hannah spoke, he knew our father. He knew him well. And he didn't treat him like a good friend at all. There's a lot of things that I know that our father did to him. But when he spoke, it was about a lot of things he did not know. A lot of things I had to tell him. A lot of things some of our siblings told him. We've sat down and had talks. But the things that I've told him, and this stuff right here, he didn't know anything about it. He
said he hit a lot of stuff. He didn't.
And he said he was shocked because he was on the mountain that day. And Laura keeps lying and saying that she even did it in that movie. That's why I'm saying The Girl in the Garage is not a true story, because first of all, there was a person in that house that was a close family friend that she knew, and she knew the individual. She knows him till today. She knows that he was there at the post office, and she did not take a letter out of her underwear because he was present. She's lying about that. She's
He's the one.
fabricating.
Yeah, he's the
She's
one that drove.
fabricating
He's
and
the one that
lied.
drove him to the office. To the post office. Yeah.
Yep. She fabricated and lied. And then you got both of them venting to him about their relationship. Both of them behind each other's back, telling on each other. So I'm just like, the dude was up there sitting on the mountain, and you're sitting up there saying, and they told him stay out of it because it didn't involve him. He wanted to leave, and they said no, it was a crime scene. Nobody could leave. He had to sit there in that car and wait, and it was freezing up there. And all he did, he said he just stayed in the car with the heat on, off and on, because he couldn't have it on the whole time, because then it would run the battery and stuff down and run all the gas out, and then we would have been really stuck on that mountain. But he said it was never any helicopters. That lie, that I'ma just tell you, for somebody to lie like that, she ain't afraid of nothing, not even God. To lie like she lied. She lied like a rug. I mean, to say that the whole place was covered with helicopters and army tanks, and they had like a whole bunch of police. It was only 4 Broncos up there, 4 or 5 Broncos up there. That's it. And they never pulled up in the driveway. And they never opened up a garage and took a lock off of it and took her out of there, because the vehicles was parked in front of the garage and Hannah was sitting in one of the vehicles. That never happened. Exaggerating, saying that dad pulled out a gun and was pointing the gun at police. If he pointed a gun at the police, he'd have been dead.
Yeah.
He'd have been dead pointing a gun at the police.
We all know he pulled.
And I'm saying,
guns.
then you
make
a lifetime movie.
Hold on, we know he pulled guns on y'all. He never pulled a gun on Laura. She's switching around. We know that dad shot at Marcus. So she's changing everything around to fit her. Yeah.
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 But I'm just saying, imagine pulling a gun on the police. I mean, the police is already suspicious when they pull you over.
Yeah.
Anyways, and especially if you're black, they're going to be suspicious. But I'm saying, imagine a police coming to your home and you pull out a gun on them. Do you think the police going to let dad pull out a gun on them and not do anything? He wasn't charged with resisting the police. He wasn't charged with pointing no gun at the police. And when you say, oh, this is a movie, Girl in the Garage, and it's the Laura Cowing story, it's not a Laura Cowing story. And the whole movie is a lie. The entire movie is a lie. It's made up. It's fabricated with nothing but lies. That's just what it is.
Let me get to this next clip, because I'm trying to find the one. She said she came in the situation with her eyes wide open. Let me see if this is the clip. Let me check.
Physically abused you also?
Yes, he did. He physically.
What was that like? That was beatings?
Ooh, wow. With me and the children, he would, like the children, for example, he would string them upside down, beat them on their feet.
Some Musa Muhammad?
I was visiting my husband back and forth in the jail, and he would say, well, I'll be the one to visit from now on, and
that's what he told you, that he will visit your husband.
Right.
So your husband and him had conversations.
Well, found out it wasn't true. He never did visit him.
Never did visit him.
Yeah, I found that from my husband when he got out.
Right. So before that went down, were you telling your husband that you were seeing this guy? Did you tell your husband?
I never had a chance to even tell him anymore. He wouldn't let me go and see him
anymore.
anymore.
So did you tell him at least one time?
One time.
One time?
Exactly, one time.
And what did he tell you?
He said in Islam, there's a protector or a wali that can be appointed by the husband. Say if there's a war or a man is away from the home a length of time.
Right.
And he was okay with Musa watching over the family, but that was as far as
I'm assuming you were having conversation with the other wives. what were your conversations like, and did you have opportunities to speak candidly with each other?
There you go. Isolation in the home because he kept us all separated.
Like how? Can you speak to how he would pull that off?
Mhm. Yeah, his first wife was like the head of the family, and he would tell her deliberately not to talk to us at all. And me and the second wife, we pretty much tried to correspond, but he didn't like that at all.
Right.
So sometimes we would write notes to one another
Right.
just to get a conversation.
Wow. In the beginning, did you think that you can like make it work? Did you like seek to be a good wife to this man? To fill that void of your husband missing and letting Mansa fill the void. Did you feel like you could make it work?
I really wanted to. I wanted
You
to try.
it to work to try.
I wanted to try.
So you
because-
didn't have no problem with a polygamous relationship.
Exactly. So I went in with my eyes open, not closed.
Okay.
That was
That wasn't a.
that was confusing.
I'm gonna just tell you this: they need to stop lying. I'm gonna tell you, because the relationship that was in that home, that was not a polygamous relationship, and that's making Muslim people look bad. That's actually practicing polygamy the right way, because that's according to their beliefs. But she needs to stop lying, because that was not a polygamous relationship. First of all, you and him was having an affair. Okay, you was married and he was married. Okay, he was cheating on our mother with her. Okay, she was doing the same thing with her husband, cheating on her husband with our father. So let's not keep lying and making up stuff. And it was a polygamous relationship. You was into it and you went with your eyes wide open. Don't-
Mm.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
And it's just like, nah, you need to stop telling lies like that, saying that you was in a polygamous relationship with a man that was married. Keisha was on last Saturday, or no, Friday. And Keisha even stated that dad did not have no marriage ceremony with her, and he didn't. Now she said that he had one with Adrian. Yeah, he did, but that still wasn't a polygamous relationship, because they was not supposed to be living in the same house. They was not. All of them was supposed to have their own homes. They was not supposed to be living in the same house. You can't marry women and bring them to somebody's home and then expect one woman to take care of 36, 37 people in the whole home. You can't do that. You can't expect people to do that. So the hadiths, that's
Yeah.
something that got to do with the hadiths, and I don't know how she got there. I really don't know. I'm just like, it's weird. It's weird. And you wanted to make it work. First, you saw a bad situation, but you didn't care. You went in with your eyes wide open because you wanted to make it work. How can you make something bad work for yourself?
That's what I'm saying. It's so confusing. She says one thing.
Like that
First she said it was.
don't make
First
no
she said it was
sense
bad.
at all. That
Hold on,
don't make
hold
no sense at all.
Hold on. First she said it was bad, and if it was bad, she saw all this stuff. Then she turned around and said she came in with her eyes over, tried to make some things work, but it was already bad. How you can make it work?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm like, it don't make sense at all. And then people need to pay attention to the lies, just like when you watch certain YouTube videos online. I mean, if you really looked at these videos, this lady is lying, and I'm just like, she needs to be held accountable for all these lies she's telling. I mean, literally, she needs to sit down, motion or something need to be filed. She need the answer to all this stuff. Because I'm just like, to say that, and then change stuff, it's like, I can't keep up with a lie. I can't keep up with that many lies like that. That's too much right there. And I'm just like, the lie need to stop. That she was Dad's wife. She was not Dad's wife, and Adrian was not Dad's wife. Okay, they want vulnerable women that was in need. They had some other agendas, and if I got off into the other agendas, people would be surprised, which we'll probably talk about later. But both of them had some other agendas. They did. It was something else. They both had the opportunity to leave. They left, came and gone, came and went anytime they wanted to. So I'm just like, I don't get it when both of them sit up there. Not so much Adrian, but I'm talking about Laura. I mean, but Laura tells Adrian's story for her too.
Yes, she does.
She does that too. Oh, she was just like me. It's a lot of comparisons. It's like Adrian had 2 kids. She was young. You was not as young as Adrian. She's like 15, 16 years older than Adrian. You was not. And she needs to stop telling that lie. You know? And I'm just like, Adrian was just like me when she met Musa, because she had 2 children. She had a husband too that was incarcerated. She did not. She did not have no. Adrian didn't have no husband that was incarcerated. Like Keisha was saying last week, she had 2 children. She was living with her sister, and we had known Adrian for years, and there's some other people that we've all known for years. And so I'm saying you got to look at all the comparison. First, she comparing all the abuse that happened to children to her. Then she uses Michelle Knight and say, I too was like Michelle Knight. I was kidnapped and the FBI was looking for me and I was sexually assaulted. Then I too was like Adrian. Adrian had 2 children.
Let me get off into another. Let me get off into another clip. Let me play this other clip right here.
If you want to, can you touch on just a bit of your story and the background of how we got to where we are today?
Oh, sure, purpose. Yeah, it's kind of, it's intense. It's almost familiar with Gina, Amanda, Michelle, what they went through. I mean, I was born and raised here in Cleveland, but I went to California. A young girl just wanted to get a different background.
Yeah.
And I met a guy and we got married, and everything was going pretty well. We had 2 children. We had 2 businesses. He was Muslim with the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden things went sour quick.
Oh, wow.
He was arrested. He went to jail for selling illegal firearms.
Okay.
So here I was. Now I got these businesses. I got these little kids. I didn't know what I was doing. He ran all of that.
Right.
So I went to the imam in the town and I said, I need help. And he referred me to one of the Muslim brothers over there.
Okay.
And it really sounded like it was a great thing. He came over with his son. He was trying to help us get the business afloat. I ended up shutting it down anyway. But I thought it was a blessing, And he said, well, listen, why don't you and your children move in with me and my wife and kids until your husband, get out of jail, get back on your feet. And I thought, oh, wow.
Yeah.
But it was not a blessing.
Wow.
Because I did move in with them, and it was a nightmare 4 years.
Oh, my goodness.
It really was, of torture. And to make a long story short, when I tried to get out of that situation, he took me and my children, he locked us up in a garage for over 6 months.
Oh, my goodness.
No one knew where we were. We were held captive by him.
Now, you didn't have family in California,
No,
right?
none, and that's the isolation of it all.
Right.
So they didn't know where we were. So they're out searching and everything, and we're in another part of town. So it was scary. And by the grace of God, the only way I was able to escape was thanks to a postal worker. I was able to slip her a note. She got authorities.
Wow.
So he's incarcerated. He's serving 7 life terms.
Oh, my goodness.
Because he did a lot of stuff to us. Torture, the whole works.
My God.
So that's...
She said the whole works. She said torture the whole works.
Crazy.
Boy, I tell you.
Mm,
Torture
mm,
the whole works.
mm, mm, mm.
Lord. He did a lot of stuff to torture, starve us, all that. But see, she said that he held her for 4 years while she was speaking to the lady.
She
And then
did.
she switched it and she said he locked us up for 6 months.
Yep.
But in the movie, it's supposed to be a true story, right? But you said you didn't know him, that he just came in the store and said that he was just friends of your husband. But in this interview, she's saying that she went to the mosque. And
Mm.
our father wasn't a Nation of Islam Muslim either. He was from the masjid, not the mosque. The
Yeah.
mosque is where Nation of Islam brothers be at. And she said she went to the mosque, and the mosque told her, sent him to her. So which one is it? I think that she's telling all these stories because she's trying to keep from the real story being told.
Yeah.
Because bottom line is that no imam sent you. The thing is that what mosque would send a single woman with 2 children to another man's house that's married? They don't even do that. They don't
I
even
know.
do that. She's slandering them people in the Nation of Islam, making them look like crazy people. She's slandering them. And then talking about her husband was selling guns at the mosque. I'm just
And like I like revisiting these clips. 'Cause I played these before. I just like doing because every time we watch them, you find something new,
yeah.
and it's good to watch these to like, okay, I didn't recognize she said that. Yeah.
Yeah, because when we watch them, like you said, you see like little bits and pieces, or you zoom through them. But then when you plant yourself, you sit down, you watch the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can see everything that's being said and how everything happened.
Yep.
And it's just like, I mean, you just telling a big old story. And the thing is that all of us, and we've said this several times, you don't have to lie. This stuff
You
is
know,
real.
that's what.
You don't
Yeah.
have to add anything to it. You don't have to make it bizarre. It was bizarre and it was a lot, but you don't even have to add anything to it. You don't have to lie. A lot of us live in the home and everybody has their own version of what happened and what happened to them, and all the versions of everybody's version of what happened to them, they're similar. Her
Mm-hmm.
version is not similar at all. It's just
And see,
made up,
and,
or
and the
it's
one and the one and the one thing about when y'all speak, you may have your point of view, but it all ends up coming together, and you can tell. But when she speaks, it's not like that at all.
no. It's like she just got a list of stuff. I'm gonna get you for this. I'm gonna get you for that. I'm gonna make you look bad for this. I'm gonna get you for that. I'm gonna tell. Next, she gonna be saying Tupac was in our house, saying all eyes on me. Picture perfect. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what the lady gonna do. I don't know what she gonna do next. I just don't know because it's so much stuff. Next, she gonna think she Patti LaBelle.
Told you she's gonna play like something wrong with her. I'm telling you.
Yep. Oh, I'm very vulnerable. I'm an older lady. I don't remember saying it, but you did that for 25 years.
Yeah.
25 years. And I'm saying sometimes when you look at this stuff, I try to make it like laughable, because when I look at the stuff that she's saying, I'm not, I'm, it's not laughable when it comes to us, but it's laughable when it comes to her because she's talking about he built the hanging mechanism. She had a protruding stomach and her skin, you could pull it out and pop it back in. It was just hanging there.
Yeah.
She's talking about helicopters and
Yep.
and big old army tanks. Somebody pulled out a gun and pointed at the police, and the list could go on. The stuff is just bizarre. It's like you was there and you like, when did this happen? When did this happen? And you want to say she's a great, courageous person? No, she not. Because I've been amongst some really courageous people, and that's all 13 of us that went through that crap, and we got through it. And we got through it by the grace of God. That's how we got through it. Because, like I
Yes.
said, all of us could have been seriously injured
It's been out of
or
here, gone.
land somewhere in a grave right now. All the stuff that was done to us is serious. It's serious. And I'm just like, to hurt somebody that bad to the point you almost take their life away from them, you don't deserve to even be out here on the outside world. I don't care how any family feel, none of that. He was our father, and
Yeah.
we're able to speak and say whatever we want, period. Because
That's my point.
whether you believe it or not, it was done. And if you're watching, I'm sad that he did the things that he did, and he's not even copping to being wrong. Nothing. Like, I ain't do nothing, period. I'm not copping to anything. I didn't
Yep.
do nothing. They're wrong. That's what he's saying. They're wrong. I didn't do anything. And then saying that we didn't suffer like we said we did, that we made it up and God is going to punish us. God is not going to punish us, because God don't want nothing bad to happen to none of us. God want us to have everything in this life and more. And I've seen it in my own life by how hard I work. I've seen it. And I'm just saying, Dad is shocking. Say it, but I'm just going to say it. He don't ever deserve to see the day of light. He should be put in a dungeon somewhere, because the things that and this is for real, the things that he did to us, it was really horrific. And mom following along with him like that, you know. And then you have a sibling using domestic abuse that happened to her. I don't even remember. I don't remember. And I've asked my counselor, why don't I remember? And she said, because you might suffer from long-term amnesia. You probably saw it, but blocked it out, because if it comes back to your brain, it's going to be really painful. I'm not trying to remember him beating my mother up. That ain't something I want to see.
Look, I've seen it. I'm much
I know
older than
you
you, so
have. I know you have. I know Keisha have. I know Tiffany have, and I know Marcus have. I don't remember it. And so when we had our last podcast in April, it was like I said, everybody has their point of views and their opinions, and I respect it, but I'm going to speak regardless. I'm going to have my own point of view. We cannot like each other's point of view, and we can just agree to disagree. But the thing is that, no one never said that if our mother come out and speak, that I'm going to feel better about it. No, I'm not. I'm still going to be the same person. Things still going to remain the same. I just would like to see an opportunity for her to speak up for herself, because she's never spoken up for herself. She's never spoken up for us. And I would like to see her out there on one of these platforms right here with her children, speaking up for all of us and for herself. And everybody else, you can tune them out. You can tune everybody else out. Because I don't care what the outside, I don't care what the DA say, Julie Baldwin, Detective Zirkle, Detective DeFoy, these other advocates, the judge, I don't care what none of them say. And like I said, I keep saying it to the day I'm not here no more. I ain't got no more breath in me. That, what she is speaking about and the stuff she's been doing for 20 years, that stuff did not happen. That stuff did not happen. And she used all types of abuse, isolated abuse tactics to make people think, oh, yeah, that happened to me. This happened to me.
Let me get back to that video of Precious because I think I didn't play the whole thing. I'm gonna play the whole thing and then we're gonna talk a little bit about that to end it.
Okay.
A well-known Cleveland domestic violence advocate says she paid a deposit to a pet rescue company to find her missing bird, but the so-called experts never showed up. Sia New Yorker's live in Cleveland with the warning for pet owners tonight. Sia.
Lena, Laura Cowan's missing bird was gifted to her from Michelle Knight, another survivor who is well known in this community. Now, the two women tell me they bonded over this bird as an emotional support animal and used it for their trauma. And you can only imagine the pain this scam has caused. Laura Cowan tells me she's been calling her beloved pet parakeet's name since she escaped last Friday.
When I was cleaning her cage, I took a part of her cage outside to dry. I opened the door to go back in and Precious flew right by me, full speed. And next thing, she flew straight over to the neighbor's tree.
And she's been hiding out back here in the trees ever since last spotted on Labor Day.
Come on, Precious! Precious!
That's Lord of the Rings Gollum. He was looking for his ring called Precious.
Oh my God.
That's yeah.
You see the bird sitting up in the tree?
Bird ain't coming back.
If the bird know they owners, they gonna fly back to him. That bird sitting there looking around like, this is the fresh air. This is freedom. Animals know you, you know.
And I know we've been go ahead, finish. Listen, we've been
animals know you.
Yeah.
Animals know you. And if the bird wanted to come back, the bird would have flew back.
Exactly.
He would have flew back. So I ain't buying that story, like I said.
And we've been there for an hour and 30 minutes, a little over.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot of this story can go on and on. You know, I like playing the clips because it give us more to talk about while we gather our other information up. You know, like we always say, during the week we are researching. We haven't even said everything that we researched this week either. So
yeah.
But like I said, we can always do a video anytime. Let Hannah know I want to do a video with him, just me and him. I want to do something with him, talking about a lot of stuff as well. I know we did videos with Hannah, but I want to do one with me and him alone. Yeah. So, you got anything you want to end? Anything you want to say?
I think you pretty much wrapped it up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's it right there, everyone. We'll be back next week. We're gonna just keep bringing more information and just open things up. And I really like for other siblings to come back up here, but we'll see what happens with that. Try to get them last week, but everybody's schedule was looked to be kind of crazy and stuff. So, but anyway, all right, everyone. Have a blessed day and a blessed week, and we'll be back.
Okay.